Good. How's everyone doing? Has spring arrived wherever you are?
Has arrived in Albany. It was gorgeous out today.
It was beautiful weather.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. It was. Yes, it's been 65 degrees for the last 2 days where I'm at. And in Minnesota, that's as good as summer. Good. So for those of you, I see a few familiar faces here. For those of you who were here last time or the last two times, I want to see, have you been able to integrate some of the breathing that we've learned? Did anyone get a chance to practice that by themselves at some point?
Yep. I did the I do the bellows breathing, and I didn't even know that's what it was called.
Yeah.
Yep. So I used that. Yep. And I didn't try the finger dinger. I did not do that.
Okay. All right. All right. Anybody else? I saw a few other nods.
Get down. Come on. Get down.
I'm wondering, Nikhil, if you have any suggestions for, I know you're supposed to plug one nostril and then open the other. I'm wondering what your suggestions are for folks with allergies because I had a hard time last week.
Yes, yes. No, I can totally feel your pain. Especially when this weather happens, I always get stuffy nose. It's always one side and the other one's better. So yeah, I don't think this technique would work when you have a stuffy nose, unfortunately. That's just the way it is. But we're going to learn something today that you can do at any time, regardless of allergies. And the first one that we learned, the Bellows Breath, absolutely you can do it even despite allergies. In fact, it's a very potent tool to treat yourself from allergies. So by all means, feel free to use that one. You remember that, right? The Bellows Breath we did?
Yes.
Yeah, so I know it looks a little funny, but it definitely helps.
Good to know. Thank you.
Give it a try. Isis, is your daughter joining us today as well?
Yeah.
Oh, there she is. Hey. Good to see you. All right. All right. So let's dive in. Today's topic is increasing productivity. How many of you want to increase productivity? All of you? Well, that's why you're here. Dumb question, Nikhil. All right. So if you want to increase productivity, you know that it's possible, right? That's why you want to increase it. You also know that there's something that stands in your way. I want to know from you, what is it? What is it that you think is standing in your way to becoming super productive? What is it?
Stress for me.
Stress, okay. Fatigue, yeah. Any other thoughts?
There's too many things on the list.
Yes, it makes you like shut down. Having so many things, I start to get overwhelmed. Like I think about the list, and then and then you check things off the list, and then you add more things to the list, and I'm like, oh, forget it.
Yeah.
Procrastination.
Yes. I see Abby is written being too wired. I first read it as being too weird. I was like, well, yeah, I guess that would do it, but sorry. Being too wired, apps, mobile phone devices, all kinds of different gadgets. Yes, all of those. And whatever your reason is, if it's not one of those, right? Yeah, there is so many things that stand in our way to us being super productive. Have you noticed that your own mind, which I always say can be your best friend or your biggest enemy, a lot of times gets in our own way of being productive? Yeah, have you noticed that? What is the one thing we need from our mind to be productive? What is the one quality do we need from our mind to be productive?
Focus.
Focus, absolutely. You got it, Craig, and whoever else said it. Go get yourself a lint and send me the bill. Yes, you want your mind to be focused, like laser sharp focus. But what does our mind typically do?
It wanders.
It wanders. It jumps from here to there. There's thousands of thoughts. Have you heard the term monkey mind? Yeah, that's what we have, the monkey mind. What do we do about the monkey mind? Can you just tell your mind that, hey, mind, just for now, I'm going to focus. So you just shut up, stop wandering, and just focus. Can we do that? I mean, we can do that, but does it work?
I haven't mastered.
And even if it works, for how long does it work? Not for very long, right? Our mind, just for a few seconds max. Yeah, yeah. Our mind has a very hard time listening to itself. Yeah. So there's a law in the realm of the mind. You cannot control the mind from the level of the mind. I'm sure everybody has had this experience that, you know, you had a long day, you got to bed. Next morning, you have a busy schedule, you have a morning meeting that you can't miss, or an exam, and you just want to sleep. But mind is too active. It's jumping from all different places to all different places. And the more you tell your mind, hey, mind, I just want to sleep. Let's just wind down and let's just go to bed. Let's just sleep. Does it listen? In fact, the more we tell the mind to do something, the less likely it is that it's going to listen to us. Have you had that experience? You know why? The mind is like a spring. You know what's the quality of a spring? If you push against it, it's most in tension. So it's going to keep resisting it. It's going to keep resisting your effort. So our mind is like that. So in the realm of the mind, you cannot control it from the level of the mind. Have you also noticed there's one more tendency in the mind? What is the other quality you need from your mind? And it's part of being focused is you want your mind to be in the present moment, isn't it? But oftentimes what happens? What are our thoughts about? Are our thoughts about things that are happening right now? Or are our thoughts about things that have either happened in the past or about things that are yet to come? Right? We noticed your mind is rarely in the present moment. The mind keeps vacillating between the past and the future. Yeah, everybody has had that experience. Yeah, yeah. Now, let's look into this a little bit more. When the mind goes into the past, what kind of emotions come up? When we're thinking about things that have happened in the past, what kind of emotions come up for you?
Frustration sometimes.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Melody.
Sadness.
Sadness can come, yeah. Yeah, Craig, so it depends on what you're thinking about, but give me some examples. Things that typically happen for you when you're thinking about things from the past. Someone said sadness. Yeah, that's very common. For a lot of people, guilt or regret comes up a lot of times when we're thinking about the past. Nostalgia can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those good old days. My God, it was so much fun. Right? When I could eat a whole pie of pizza. My God, those days. Right? Sadness can happen, melancholy can happen. Yeah, so many different emotions can come up when our mind goes into the things from the past. Let's look into the future now. When the mind goes into things that are yet to happen, and the mind goes into the future, then what happens? Then what kind of emotions happen to us?
Anxiety.
Anxiety, very common, yes. What else? Worry, maybe for a lot of people, it's a worry. What's going to happen, right? And anxiety, am I going to be prepared to handle it, right? Excitement can definitely happen. Yes, Penny, excitement can definitely happen that, yes, I'm so looking forward to when I get the vaccine, I'm going to take the flight to Rome and roam around the streets. Yeah. So excitement definitely is also fear. Yes, Jim, fear can definitely also show up about the future. Hope, yeah, these are all good answers. So you see, a whole variety of emotions can come up for us when we are thinking about the future. Okay? Now, with regards to all of this happening, where is life going on?
Right now, in the present.
Right, in the present, yeah. Now, as our mind continues to vacillate from past to future, what are we doing? We're missing out on life that is going on right now. Now, this is conventional wisdom. Everybody says be in the present, the power of now. There's books written, there's sermons given on, be in the present moment. People tell us, just be in the moment. Nobody tells us how to do that. Right? Neither at school nor at home are we ever taught how to be in that present moment that everyone keeps talking about. If my mind is wandering, what do I do about it? Right? If I have 100,000 thoughts all the time, if my mind keeps jumping from one thing to another, what do I do about it? Right? And we all have already said that just telling the mind to relax doesn't seem to work so well. So then what do we do? What's the solution? Anybody wants to answer a guess?
Guessing it has something to do with breathing.
Yeah, okay, yes. For those of you who are returning from last time, I gave you a hint. Almost all the problems that we're talking about have a common theme. They can be solved by bringing our attention to our breath. Our breath plays a very vital role in helping us solve them, get over these obstacles. Yeah? So I always like to say that if everybody here has seen a kite at some point or heard about a kite, yeah, our mind is like that kite. It has a mind of its own. When you fly a kite, it keeps going in random directions. How do we control the kite? Through the string. Right? Our breath is like that string that allows us some sort of a control over that mind. Otherwise, if there was no string on the kite, what would happen? It will just fly away to some random place and fall. So we can use our breath as a string to have a say over our own mind. Yeah. Would you like to experience it? Yeah. Okay, so today we're actually going to learn two kinds of breathing. Yay. So one is if you have way too many thoughts going on in the mind, and whatever you're doing, you're not able to focus at all, and how to bring at least some sort of a focus. Yeah. So breathing techniques that I always generally cover mostly always look very funny. So this one's in that category. It's gonna look funny. It's gonna feel funny, but I say do it anyway. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is take our index fingers, and I'm just going to say it, but don't do it right away. We're going to plug our ears with that. So as I said, don't do it because you won't get the remaining instructions. We're going to plug our ears with our index fingers. And then what we're going to do is take a deep breath in, and we're going to make this sound. Right? Like a humming bee, right? We're going to make that sound. And it's going to be a long exhale, and keep making that sound while you're doing that. Yeah? We'll do it for just 5 breaths, 5 long, deep breaths in. And while exhaling, we're going to make the sound. Yeah. So you'll be counting yourself because your ears will be plugged. You won't be hearing me. Just come back after 5 breaths. Okay. So I'm going to remove my earphones, plug my ears. Yeah, I'll give it a few more seconds for those who have really big lung capacity. And all right. So how was that? Good, yes.
Kind of made me think of I don't know if this is the right name for them, but those singing bowls, those singing meditation bowls, but without needing that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's precisely what we're doing. Yeah. You know, sound has a very strong influence on our state of mind. Imagine you're sitting in your living room, enjoying some TV show, munching on popcorn or some other favorite snack of yours. And suddenly you hear a fire brigade outside on the road with its sirens blaring. Do you feel something going on just thinking about it? Do you feel something is happening inside you, in your heart? Yeah. Sound has a very strong effect on us. Imagine if there was a blackboard play when I was growing up in India. When in our schools, we used to have these blackboards, and then teachers would write with chalk. And every so often, the chalk would make the screeching sound along the surface. Yeah, heard of, you know what I'm talking about? Again, just hearing about it, do you feel something inside you is cringing just thinking about that sound? Yeah, sound has a very strong impact on our state of mind. Now, there are certain sounds that vibrate in the head region. The sound is one such sound. Yeah, or these are 2 such sounds that vibrate in the head. And what's there in the head? A very precious brain. It's like, you know, when sometimes if someone is just so lost and they're just completely lost, sometimes what people do is just hold them and shake them like that. You seen that? If someone is just so not there, you would just hold them and just give them a nice shake. to bring them to what's going on. It's like that. We're giving our mind this nice shake with, hey, listen, life's happening right now. Be here. So we do it 5 to 7 times, not more than that. Mind will get upset otherwise from you. Don't shake it too much. Yeah. So this is actually a very ancient technique coming from the yogic tradition. It has a name. It's called Brahmari. Don't worry about it. It's a weird Sanskrit name that you don't really need to know. Call it the Hummingbird Technique. The Hummingbird Technique. This works wonders, especially if you're really having a hard time focusing. Especially if you've gone through something difficult in life recently, but you need to do something that is important. It will come very handy in those situations. There's another one that we use, and I'm sure this is something you may have heard about. It's called the straw breath. So it's just exactly how the name suggests. Imagine you have a straw and you're breathing through the straw. So we curl our lips as if we have a straw. If you've never done it before, don't curl your lips on the inhale, just do it on the exhale. So take normal inhale from the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Let's do it a few times. And after this breath, we can slowly, gradually open our eyes. Anybody here who ever struggles with hypertension or high blood pressure at any time? You don't need to show your hands. I don't need to know. But if you are, if this is something that you struggle with, this is an exceptional technique to just in a few minutes bring your blood pressure back down to normal.
Yeah. Why is it more effective to breathe like that with your lips sort of pursed versus just a regular inhale and exhale through the mouth?
That's an excellent question, Melissa. A lot of things that we do, a lot of breathing techniques that we do work on the principle of awareness. So when we just take normal breath in and out, for maybe 2 or 3 breaths, you're going to have your awareness in the breath, and then the mind will take over and again start wandering. But when you purse your lips and you breathe out like that, did you notice your mind was wandering? Yeah. No, your attention was on the breath, right? The entire time, the entire 7, 8, 9, 10 breaths that we did, the attention was right there on the breath.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So that's one reason. There's more to it, but for the purpose of this class, I think that's enough.
It's very mysterious, but okay.
That's as deep as I'd like to go into it right now. But yeah, it works, right? Did you notice that it works? Yeah. It starts calming the mind right away, just the first 2 breaths itself. Lonnie, you're asking, do both breathing techniques serve the same purpose? To some degree, yes. The first one that we did, the Hummingbird Technique, that really is to bring about a sense of focus when your mind is very scattered and distracted. The second one helps a lot more if you're anxious or worried about something. Now, they could be the same, like you're anxious and worried, and that's why your mind is distracted. That could be the reason. But otherwise, they have slightly different role. Yeah. So we've learned in this series, we've learned 4 techniques so far. The Bellows Breath, which if you're feeling dull, will infuse a ton of energy into your body. Yeah. The alternate nostril breathing we learned in the second session, that also helps to kind of bring us back from a distracted state of mind. So that and the hummingbird are very similar in their effects. The alternate nostril also gives us a sense of balance. Right? If you're feeling very emotional, it can help to restore some balance. But also if you're feeling very dry inside, you're not able to connect with your heart, then also it can create that sense of balance. So it brings us a nice balance of the left and the right brain. And then the hummingbird, as I said, if you're very distracted, just not able to focus, a few breaths can help you get there. Okay. And the last one that we did, the straw breath. If you're feeling very anxious about something, you're worried, you're afraid, or if you're very nervous, if you have to do a presentation in front of people, if you have to lead a mindfulness meditation session for UAlbany alum, and in 2 minutes, then you switch off your video and you take a few straw breaths, and then you turn on in video and you look like bright and shining. So that is what it does. So it's 7:30. We are getting close to our time to meditate. Does anyone have any questions before we start our meditation? Any questions? Okay, good. So let's dive into our meditation. For our meditation, we can sit back, relax in an easy, comfortable posture. You preferably do not want to be lying down unless you really have to. Otherwise, you may end up sleeping through it. But keep your back supported. You can keep your head supported and rested if you'd like. Meditations are best done with the eyes closed. So I would invite you to close the eyes at this point. Oh, and before that, if you have any gadgets around you that could disturb you during the next few minutes, this would be a good time to make sure that they are turned off or put in airplane mode. I'm going to mute everybody. All right, so let's sit back, relax, take it easy. As we close the eyes, let's start by taking a few straw breaths that we just learned. Deep breath in, breathing out with the lips curled. 3 or 4 more times. Breathe in. And relax the breath. Relax the lips, the mouth, the face. Notice that the attention is turning inwards from the external environment to the internal environment. Notice that the breath is happening on its own. Breath is flowing in and going out through the nostrils. Incoming breath energizes the body, and the outgoing breath brings relaxation. With the in-breath, become aware of the energy coming in with every breath. And as we breathe out, let go of any effort, relax any tightness from the body. The gravity is pulling each and every cell of ours down towards the floor. Consciously drop any resistance you may have towards the pull of gravity. Allow the shoulders to drop. Allow the whole body to be loose and relaxed. Relax the toes and the feet. The knees are gently bent with no effort. There's no tightness in the thighs or the hip muscles. The abdomen and the stomach are not pulled in. Chest is open and wide. Shoulders are relaxed. Hands are by the side or in the lap. Neck is loose. Jaw is slightly open. There's a bit of smile on the face. Letting go of any frown from the forehead. And then taking the attention to the very top of the head. And relax, relaxing the whole body. The whole body is relaxed. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Let's become aware of any thoughts in the mind. Whether connected or disconnected, whether good or bad or neutral. Thoughts are a part of us. Dropping the craving for thoughtlessness. We embrace our thoughts however they are and let them be. embracing all our thoughts, and being in harmony with them. A long, deep breath in and breathe out. Another deep breath in and breathe out. Become aware any feelings or emotions. Whether positive or negative. Emotions are a part of us. Dropping any craving or any resistance for any emotions. Accepting however we are feeling right now. Being okay. Embracing our current state of mind. We are in total harmony with ourselves. You are peace. You are the source of joy for yourself and others. a long, deep breath in and breathe out. And once again, check in and see if there's any emotions or feelings inside. Breathe in and breathe out. Notice if there's any thoughts. Breathe in and breathe out. Become aware of the breath flowing in and out of the body. Become aware of the whole body. And the surroundings. The room you're in, the chair you're sitting on. Let's take a long, deep breath in and breathe out. And with the next breath, you may roll your neck, you may stretch your arms, you may extend your legs. Take a deep breath in and breathing out through the mouth. Once again, breathe in. Slowly, gradually, taking our own time. When we feel ready, we can open our eyes. Good morning, fellas. Breakfast is served. All right. How are we doing?
Fabulous.
Pretty
Wish I could
good.
have you in my head when I'm trying to sleep. It all goes away.
Melody, you were saying something? I couldn't hear.
Oh, I said I feel pretty good.
Good, 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 good.
Thank you.
Good. Anyone else wants to share their thoughts on how they're feeling right now? Everybody seems to have gotten into a quiet space. Good. It's worth it. Being in that quiet space is definitely worth it. And when we operate from that state of quietness inside, we can be amidst any amount of chaos, and yet we can make the best decisions for ourselves and for others around us. We can be most productive when we operate from this space of internal quiet. Otherwise, when we operate from in a space of internal chaos, we all know what happens. So it's worthwhile investing into learning how to find this quiet space daily on an everyday basis. Imagine if you could start your day feeling this way. Do you think your life, something in your life would be different? Yeah. Do you think the quality of life would improve? Yeah. Do you think your relationships with people would get better? Do you think you'll be more productive at whatever you do? Yeah. Good. Yeah. That's what breathing exercises, meditations can do for you. Otherwise, everyone's making the same amount of effort, probably some a little more, some a little less. Everyone's making the similar amount of effort to be productive, to be successful, to be good. Some people do it smartly by taking care of their mind, using it as an asset. And some people keep fighting the mind and increase the amount of effort required. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, someone's saying I definitely dozed off for a bit. Yes, it can feel that way. If you are not in the habit of meditating, it can feel that way because there's a certain aspect of your nervous system that gets activated when we're doing a meditation, and it makes us feel as if we are so rested. And since your mind only knows the rest that you get during your sleep, it associates that rest with the sleep. So if you have not habituated to meditation, you can imagine, you can feel like you were sleeping, but you just went into a very deep state. So that can happen. If that happened for you, good. And that means you got a glimpse for some time of how it is to be completely detached from everything in the outer world, even my voice. So that's a good thing. Okay? But you heard it when I said you can open your eyes. You heard me, right? So you were not sleeping. Betsy, you're saying, we were supposed to try to calm our minds down, but I was creatively inspired. Lots of ideas just came to me. Yes. Ideas will always come when our mind is relaxed. A lot of people think that you need to be stressed to be productive. If that was the case, countries in the world which are, heavily underdeveloped and people are under so much stress would be the most productive countries in the world. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Right? Where does creativity come from? It comes from us being able to be centered, calm, and relaxed. And from that space, we can access that pool of creativity that's anyway sitting inside us, gets covered by layers and layers of stress. How can you tell the difference between deep meditation and sleep? Well, I asked this to my meditation teacher once, and he said that if you're coming out of it without drool around your lips, then you were meditating and not sleeping. I don't know. I've never noticed drool around my lips. Now, snoring can happen during meditation as well. So that's not a good metric to determine whether you were sleeping or meditating. Snoring can definitely happen during meditation. In fact, I've heard from people who don't snore otherwise, or at least they claim to not snore otherwise, that they could hear themselves snore while they were meditating. So it can happen. When your body, your muscles relax so much that your pathways, your air pathway becomes a little narrow as a result, it can happen. It's fine. It happens. You listen to your own melody. Right, Melody? All right, any other questions? Anybody? All right. So you got the email from Melissa today. I'm offering another workshop this coming weekend. I'd love to see you there. If you would like to join, just send me an email or call me and I'll set you up. Otherwise, there's a link in the email. Just click on it and go along with it. There's plenty of information about it. I'd love to talk to you more if you'd be interested. If you're a student or a faculty or staff member at any university or any educational institution, you get a 50% discount. Yay! So we can talk about all of that if you reach out to me. Otherwise, we'll be back again here on Monday evening next week. Craig, are there more meditation techniques? Oh, there's a lot more. What we're doing here, we're barely scratching the surface. There is a lot more to it. So I'm some sort of an expert in some aspects of it. I can't claim to be, the most known, the most advanced meditation expert. But I have been doing this for the last 13 years now. I've been teaching for the last 10 years now. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of things you can learn which are not that crazy complicated, but super effective. Melissa, any thoughts from you?
No, just thank you. I mean, this is so great. Nikhil is doing this really just as a favor to give back to the university and to fellow alums and members of the Albany community. And sometimes we get alums that do one program for us. He very, generously offered to do 4. So, really, thank you. I think you can see that we're all getting a lot out of this. And I think it really can be life-altering for those who pursue it. So thank you again.
Absolutely. Yes, it's my pleasure and honor to be here and spend fun time with all of you.
All right. Well, we'll see everybody hopefully next Monday for our last session.
All right. Please spread the word. Get your friends, families, whoever is interested to come and join us.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good
Bye,
night,
everyone.
everyone. Take care.